Hi, I'm James McGuire, and on today's webcast, we're talking about how organizations can develop modern data architectures to improve the scalability of artificial intelligence. We'll discuss the challenges in that process, and we'll also highlight some potential solutions. To provide insight into that, I'm joined by a major expert in data management. With me is Rudra Ray, Director of Platform and Data Architecture at INformatica. Rudra, very good to have you with us today.
Thank you, James. Good to be here.
Rudra, please tell us a little bit about INformatica. I know that most people are familiar with the company. It's a well-known company, but for those listeners who aren't quite as aware, how does INformatica serve its clients?
Absolutely. Yeah, before I'm just talking about INformatica, I just wanted to kind of give a brief introduction about myself. Hello, everyone.
Yes.
My name is Rudra Ray, Director at INformatica. Over the past 20 years, I have led over 100 different customer engagement across the globe, providing the architectural consultation, advisory services. And my passion is to understand the different customer business challenges and help them to achieve optimum technical solution based on their existing situation. So, and I'm with INformatica for over 13 years. And just to give, if you are not really aware of INformatica, so INformatica is leader in enterprise AI-powered cloud data management that brings the data and AI to life by empowering our business to realize the transformative power of the most critical assets. And what we have is created a new category of software called Informatica Intelligent Data Management Cloud, or IDMC. And IDMC is an end-to-end data management platform which is powered by Clear AI, which connects and manages and unifies the data across the different multi-cloud or even hybrid systems. And it helps to democratizing the data and enabling the enterprise to modernize the advance their business strategies. And customers we have across almost over 100 different countries, including 80 of the Fortune 100 companies. They rely on INformatica to drive data-led digital transformation.
All right, good. So we've got a great presentation, but before we begin, we have just a bit of housekeeping to do. First of all, thank you everyone for attending today. We do greatly appreciate it. We do want to hear from you, and we'll be answering questions at the end of the presentation. Please feel free to send questions along using the Q&A section on your screen, and you don't need to wait until the end. You can enter questions anytime during the presentation. Also, today's webinar is being recorded, and we'll send you the recording in the next 24 hours. All right, Rudra, first question for you. There's been so much innovation in the AI sector, really overwhelming in the last couple of years. And we know that AI goes nowhere without data management. So given the surge in AI innovation, what key trends are you seeing in data management? Must be a lot going on.
Cannot agree more, James. So what we are seeing is and this is the quote from Gartner, which says, by 2026, 80% of the enterprises will use generative AI APIs, model, or even deploy the generative AI enabled applications, and which would be less than 5% of today. Now, the different trends as we see with the AI, there are some shift with respect to the modern data architecture as the AI evolves. And those are the different type of architectural pattern we are seeing while talking to our different customer prospects and our partners. So as we look into the different challenges or how they are facing those challenges, and then looking into the different trends, how they are kind of trying to address those challenges with that, what we are seeing is there has been a lot of kind of overall adoption of the multi-cloud and hybrid data management platforms. And also, we are seeing a lot of trends in terms of people are adopting to a data product, which I will discuss a little bit more in throughout my presentation as well. And also we are seeing a lot of different areas where people are really looking into the AI agents, right? Also, there has been a lot of trends we are seeing with respect to the AI governance, where we are seeing the trends related to, as you know, EU AI Act and other things are kind of coming prevalent, that people are really wanted to use the responsible AI and responsibly, so that we can provide them proper ways of guiding, and then we try to reduce as much as bias of the AI outcomes. But at the same time, which we are seeing with the different trends, that we are seeing not a lot of a little bit of a declining trends, which we're seeing with some of our customers, is modern data stack because of the nature of that. As you keep adding the different data management software on top of another, it's pretty hard to manage because of the lack of interoperability and other things. And then also we're seeing a little bit of a lower adoption with respect to the data mesh because of not everybody is prepared for data mesh. Definitely data mesh is a really good concept, but with some of the organizations, as we see, some of the data mesh concepts are not really practical in nature because it is showing a departmental approach where you can federate some of the areas of the data management or even by the departments. But not all the organizations is prepared for that, or probably their business requirement is only limited to a certain areas, which is better fit to do more of a centralized approach to achieve those areas. So definitely these are some of the trends which we are seeing in 2024.
Interesting. Rudra, let's talk about challenges. What challenges arise in modernizing data architectures due to AI innovation?
We see a lot of different areas that we see that we have the different types of users are increasing. And this population of users is expecting to leverage data and AI, which can drive the digital transformation, which is also rapidly growing. And during this growth, those whole technical skill set for engaging with the data is declining proportionately. Now, what we believe is the solution isn't like just to kind of massive to SQL training or just to kind of tech savvy resources, right? There are some resources who are not tech savvy, but they still wanted to access the data pretty quickly. So the overall tool which we require needs to be kind of drive more of a data democratization. And that's why we are seeing a lot of different usage of data by a lot of business users like citizen integrator or citizen analyst or even citizen data consumer. So that's why it really requires like AI-powered data management and experience that are required to empower the rapidly growing user base. So that is one of the challenges. And then another challenge, which we are seeing that as of today, many AI projects are failing, right? So as you see in the statistics that overall data management is top infrastructure related challenges to AI effort, and which is even outweighing the challenges of security or even compute performance. This is from our the Forbes survey as well. It talks about that. And the key reason when we look at that is the reason of those failure due to the unrealistic expectation, the poor data quality, and not really a data available for production ready data available to train the real AI models overall. And sometimes people are expecting a really the different type of outcome, which is not really matching the expectation when the model or the data AI models comes up with that specific output. So that's why we see it's a really big challenge that everybody is ready for AI except your data.
All right, so those are the challenges. Let's talk about solutions. How can organizations enhance their approach to developing modern data architectures for better AI scalability?
As we see different types of challenges, Jem, so we are really looking into and talking to the various different customers to help them to build or enhance their existing architecture to a modern data architecture. And I will quickly cover a few points that what does this modern data architecture covers. So there are major 5 pillars of or characteristic of the modern data architecture, which we feel is very important. Number one, it needs to be modular and flexible so that you can able to make changes to the modules to make with ever-changing requirements, because your requirements or the business requirements or the business landscape can change anytime soon. The more modular and flexible architecture you make, it is much more easier for you to manage those changes better. Then another area is more as integrated data management. So you need to have an overall architecture which can support all the areas. For example, whether you are having an integrated with the other type of tools, like for example, your data integration component should always talk to your data quality because this goes hand in hand, right? So those needs to be properly integrated and interoperable. And another area is more of an integration versatility. So what does it mean that since you are looking into the different set of data sets, the the need of connecting those data sets also varies, right? For example, you need to integrate some data set in real time. Some data set is too huge or not really available on real time. That might come overnight. So you might need to think about more of a batch or process overall. And we use a different type of pattern to kind of move data from point A to point B, something like ELT or extract load transformation. Sometimes you might need to use ETL or extract transformation load or change data capture or CDC or even streaming. Or sometimes it might be a simple API or app integration. So these are the different patterns to be supported by those architecture. And another interesting point is it needs to be a production oriented. What I mean by that is that it should support a data product building. So you can think about a data factory based model where you can kind of overall build the data product that would fit for your business requirement, and that is like productize the data delivery, which would include not just the data, but it includes the data pipeline, the data schema, and model, everything together, which is getting popularity as I mentioned in my previous slide as well. And another area is which we are seeing to enhance that experience. You need this to be an AI powered. That means it can automate thousands of data management tasks. Some of them might be repetitive, and those can be automated. And also, it can kind of you can manage the data with the recent advancement of the overall generative AI, that you can talk to the data through a natural language processing model.
All right, let's talk about the Informatica Intelligent Data Management Cloud, the IDMC. How does Informatica assist in modernizing data architecture for AI and advanced analytics?
That's how we are looking at Informatica right now to get ready for GenAI or the overall AI. So as we know, all the generative AI is transformational and shaping the way how we interact with the machines today. Now, in order to deliver the real value, it requires a really strong foundation of data. So that's why you can see at the upper part of the circle is get your data AI ready. That actually requires the whole component of the data management platform, starting from data integration, ingestion, then data quality, governance, master data management, and cataloging aspect of it. But also, the generative AI can help the data overall data management faster, right? For example, if as we have Claire, and that includes Claire Copilot and Claire GPT, so that can kind of automate a lot of areas, and it can kind of help you to get your data ready for GenAI and making sure we can leverage the GenAI to improve the overall data management as well. Now, to explain that a little bit further, I just wanted to show you overall platform of Informatica, which is called Intelligent Data Management Cloud. This includes more of an open and flexible, so that it is designed to work within any type of reference architecture you wanted to work with, whether it would be a data fabric, whether it would be a data mesh, or any other pattern like cloud data lake or warehouse, those type of architectures. And it is built on the modern API and microservices-based architecture, so it can provide you an optimal performance and modularity. That means whenever you can start small and scale, where you can pick and choose any specific of those services of the data management and go with that. And also, it provides a low-code and open API libraries so that the users can use or expand their maximum productivity with their data engineers and citizen data integrators too. At the same time, it also has some of the capabilities like elastic and serverless for cost-optimized performance and scalability, because as we look into more of a cloud area, that the cost is one of the biggest factor, that sometimes if you are not designing or architecting your systems properly, you might end up having a lot of cost from the specific cloud service providers as well. So this type of elastic and serverless capabilities can help you to optimize your cost, and also at the same time, it can enhance the performance overall. These are some of the critical areas at the high level for IDMC, which I would like to highlight is data catalog, then data integration and engineering, API and app integration, data quality and observability, which really helps to clean and increase the trust with your data. And also master data management and 360 applications are also pretty vital. And at the same time, we also have the data governance, access and privacy, and data marketplace to even distribute the data as the way you want it. So these are core capabilities of IDMC, as you see here. And now one other aspect, as we was talking earlier, is how the different areas kind of coming together to help this AI, and how Informatica IDMC can help to build even a composable data product flow to achieve the desired AI outcome. So the key component in that is you always require like a very, very highly trusted and high quality data for your AI, and it needs to be governed. And also at the same time, it needs to be consumed by the right person, right? So that means the data access is also very vital, that you should not have your enterprise data available to someone who should not have access to those critical information. Now, as you see, we have the different personas which when you build a data product, you need to go through a design process, right? And in the design process, you have a data product owner who typically design and prioritize those typical data product lifecycle flow, and then it identify that what all the data elements or the data sets I need to work with to share that the data product, right? Overall, you need to have a data analyst who can identify the right data set through our data catalog, and data quality and observability is playing a vital role, which can actually work on to identify the anomalies in the data and then making sure they can build the right set of rules to go with that. And finally, you need to build your data product, right? So that means you need to leverage some of the different building blocks to make sure that to compose the data product with data integration and engineering and the different master data management and API and app integration, to making sure that data products providing you the right the structure, which includes like modeling and the real structure, and that pulls all these areas together in this particular build process. Now, once you have this data product built, you need to govern that, right? So you should govern with some of the data domain stewards who can standardize, curate, and manage this data product with properly. And that's where we have our governance and privacy to help in that process. And finally, that data product needs to be consumed by the different users. As I showed you in my previous slide, that there are the breadth of users coming into picture. For example, like citizen integrator or citizen developer or citizen data analyst, they really need to have access to those data set. And what they can do is that we have our data marketplace where they can leverage and they can create an access, which is more like Amazon like shopping experience. In Amazon, where what you can do is you can actually shop for the products, right? Now, in data marketplace, what you really shop for a specific data or data product. So if you see, okay, I probably need to have access to a specific sales data set in specific region for this specific time frame, I will just query that, and the data product is available. Then I can make a request, and then once a request has been made within the data marketplace, it will come to a right approval process. So whoever is kind of managing or owner of that data set, they might see, okay, the whoever is the user is, and then they can approve that to provide the right access. So this is like more of the composable flow of the composable data product flow, how IDMC can help in that. Now, that also helps once the data product has been built, helps in kind of taking the or providing the right data for AI model which you are developing at the right time. Okay, so now as you have seen this data product flow, there are certain areas I wanted to show a quick area where, as you have heard about the retrieval augmented generation of generative AI, and how the generative AI, as I think many of you probably query chat GPT on regular basis, right? So if I show you a quick example that you are making a query with no context, that means I am a user and I wanted to check with my car insurance company that when can I get a good driver discount. I make that query to like a generic chatbot, right? And that chatbot does not have from that insurance company does not have a context of me as an user, and it does not have any history of my interaction or history of my driving record overall, right? So what it can provide is you can maintain a safe driving record, and it will consider or maybe consider some defensive driving course and some of the bundle different policies. Then that type of answers I will definitely get from any of the large language model whether it's a ChatGPT or any kind of other models from Anthropic or Cohere and others. Now, what if you have provided the right context of who you are, what time and what type of driving history you have? In that case, and those data is really valuable for the enterprise, and enterprise can build that app with the right context. So as you might have seen, that if you have the right context where that prompt will come similarly, and this is the example of retrieval augmented generation, as I said, which will go through a specific set of the data set process. As you might have seen, that it has been providing the trusted data and context, and that trusted data context is taking the right or data sources about myself, my driving history, and everything, and go through a series of processes, right? For example, like data integration or ingestion process, or if there is an app, then it might go through an application integration, and it can also clean the data with a specific quality output and the rules, and it will move the data into making sure that if my name is Rudra Ray or somebody else also having the similar name, they would determine whether I am the same person or the different person. So that is getting solved with master data management. And once you making sure, yes, this user is the right user, and there are some of the API and app integration capabilities can move to the vector database with the right context set so that we can do a right embedding. And once that embedding is done, you might get a good response, which is very, very focused and contextual and very much useful for that user itself. That means it says, with no further claims or violation, you will be eligible for a good driver discount on a specific date. So that's a quick example how the strong data management foundation can improve the output of AI or any of the broader AI outcome overall.
Richard, that's really interesting. As we conclude our discussion, I'd like to get your thoughts. I mean, reflecting in your career, I know you have a lot of expertise in data management. What key areas would you advise our audience to concentrate on to achieve success in the realm of data and AI? I know it can be pretty challenging.
Yeah, no, I agree. It can be pretty challenging task overall. And what I would like to quickly cover 4 key points. Where would you like to begin? Now, the one of the major point I wanted to highlight is you should build or enhance your or focus on this modern data architecture. And so that this type of modern data architecture can enable the scalable, flexible, and efficient data management, and it will enhance the overall decision making changes with the different business scenarios or outcomes or the requirements. Number 2 is, which I would always recommend, is to take a use case driven approach. It's not that, yes, for the sake of AI, I need to use AI to solve this business use case all the time, right? So you can evaluate which technique is better, whether it can be done with the predictive AI or the generative AI, or it can be even done with a normal statistical model to solve this particular business needs. So it's not that always you need to use like the same AI everywhere all the time, right? Another area, which is number 3, I would always recommend, think of a design a factory model for your data. That means you're setting up the data products, and that data products can help you to kind of achieve your right business outcome pretty quickly. Because for that set of data, you never need to build those data pipeline or schema or the model again and again. So that would be very useful. And last but not the least, you need to adjust your role, process, and tools to integrate the new and traditional elements of your data architecture. If you have your on-prem data warehouse or data lake, you can actually use even some of the cloud data lake or cloud data warehouse features or cloud functionalities to integrate that together to provide the right outcome. And later on, you can think about a long-term transition plan on moving some of your on-prem data sources to cloud or as and when it's needed. But always you need to make sure you have to have a right process and tools, and accordingly you can adjust the different user roles as we look forward.
Mm-hmm. Great. That's a lot of good advice. And Rudra, that was a good presentation. We've got some questions from the audience. You can clear these up. Here's one. Can you explain how Informatica Intelligent Data Management Cloud can help build data products tailored to enhance AI analytics scalability?
Absolutely, Jim. So before I answer this question, I just wanted to give a quick overview of data product in case if people are not very much familiar with data product. Data product is as I was kind of talking about, it's more of a container or a product which kind of combines all these functionalities together, which are really needed to achieve the right level of business objectives using data. And it might include some of the areas as I was mentioning about data pipeline, data schemas, some of the machine learning models, or even user interfaces, governance policies, or even access mechanisms, right? Now, what Informatica IDMC does, as I was showing you, and building that end-to-end composable data product building, right? So it will give the simpler way to build those data products by simplified way of ingesting the right data set, because when you are like building your data product, you need to have the right access to the right data, and whenever the data product is getting called, for example, when I build the data product, it's always going into some of the ingress and egress process. So when I'm ingesting some of the data set, it needs to be faster, right? So IDMC is kind of providing a very, very faster approach to gather this information through the data ingestion process, and also build those data pipelines in a scalable manner for the data product to function pretty quickly. And at the same time, you can also have the quality governance, access mechanism, and whatever the other areas I was just talking about, and user interface capabilities into one single interfaces. For example, using the IDMC can provide that interoperability aspect of the data product to build it easier fashion. So that's how the IDMC is really giving end users a way to build the data product in much more integrated way than a disjointed fashion.
Here's a second question. This is about data prep. What critical architectural considerations are necessary to ensure data is optimally prepared for AI scalability?
Yeah, data preparation for any AI project is really critical, because as the different AI models you develop, you need the right amount of data and the right set of data as well. And those data set, as I was showing in the other example, if let's say an insurance company does not have the driving history of the driver, they may not be able to call really that when that particular person will get the real driving discount. So just to kind of talk about or repeat that example to kind of show you now specific answer, to provide the right contextual answer, you need to access to the right driving details of that individual, trying to see all the history and transaction, whether that particular individual has made any recent claim or anything like that, and other areas with respect to whether that particular any kind of access restriction that driver already put together, if particular agency wanted to access that user information at the right fashion. So, and then at the same time, when you are fetching the data, you need to ensure that data is of high quality. Like a very common example is different format of the date, right? Somebody can put like a day, month, day, year, and the different type of all over the places, right? So those type of things might kind of give a different output. These aspect needs to be ensured, but at the same time, when I'm looking into the scalability angle, you need to ensure the security part of it as well. So it should not have that whenever you have all the scalable information or whenever the data is getting ingested at the right time, the security also needs to be established, so that make sure that that information is not really exposed to any other third party data set overall. So these are the critical areas which you need to consider for building some of these scalable architectures.
Great. Rudra, I think you said it. There's a lot of good information. I want to thank our audience today for attending. Please reach out to informatica.com for more information. And Rudra, I definitely want to thank you for that presentation. I learned a lot. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. And thank you, James.